Susie?
Yes. I'm Susie Cooper.
You're next to the audition.
Have a seat right here, Susie. As you know, the motion picture, Water for Elephants, is based off of the novel written by Sarah Gruen. Have you read the book?
I've only read some passages to get to know the role of Marlena better, but after reading the script, I still don't have a good understanding of the plot.
Well, as you know, Water for Elephants has two plot lines. They both come from the perspective of Jacob Jankowski. The older Jacob talks about his former experience working with the circus. Not only did he seek work and a way out of his broken life after his parents died and he lost everything, along his journey with the circus, he managed to find true love. There was a catch. Their love was forbidden. They faced many challenges. Jacob had to avoid being redlined, which is where he got thrown from the train, and Marlena had a problem of her own. In the end, love prevailed, and Jacob was reunited with the thing that made him most happy.
Oh, okay.
One of the main themes in the story is confinement and freedom, as shown in this quote. There's a long pause. She drops her gaze to the ground. Her mouth moves a few times before she finally speaks. I can't. Marlena, for God's sake. I just can't. I'm married. I made my bed, and now I have to lie in it. Marlena wants to be with Jacob, but can't. She's married to August. Confinement keeps her with him because she made a vow to him when they got married. This confinement keeps her from being truly happy and being with the one she loves.
While reading over some quotes to get to know the role of Marlena better, I found one that really characterized her. I'm searching in vain for an elephant when my eyes come to an abrupt stop on a woman. She looks so much like Catherine, I catch my breath. The plane of her face, the cut of her hair, the slim thighs I've always imagined were under Catherine's staid skirts. She's standing in front of a row of black and white horses, wearing pink sequins, tights, and a satin slippers, talking to a man in top hat and tails. This quote helps readers get a better understanding of what Marlena looks like. It also points out how Jacob views her as well.
So after reading the book and reading over your script, did you make any connections with the story?
I actually did. I made one. Let me find it. It's not a nursing home, they said. It's assisted living. Progressive, you see. You only have help for the things you need, and then when you get older. They always trailed off there, as though that would prevent me from following the thought to its logical conclusion. I really connected with this quote because it reminded me of when I was a kid and my mother took care of an older man that was staying at a nursing home. And I understand how Mr. Jankowski feels because the people that do work there take over their lives and do whatever they want them to do.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of readers can connect personally with the story, but I also feel that they can connect with the world around them, like this in this quote. Dean Wilkins takes a deep breath, raises his eyes to mine, and claps a hand on my shoulder. Son, there's been an accident. A slight pause. An automobile accident. Another pause, longer this time. Your parents were involved. I stare at him, willing him to continue. I'm sorry, son. It was an instant. There was nothing anyone could do. I stare at his face, trying to maintain eye contact, but it's difficult because he's zooming away from me, receding it to the end of the long black tunnel. Stars explode in my peripheral vision. Many young adults face challenges. At times, people receive bad news, like the news of a death in family. I understand how Jacob must feel after receiving the news of the death of his parents, and I know why he would want to run away from everything that reminded him of his parents. I also made a text-to-text connection with one of the books I already read before, called Huckleberry Finn, in this quote. The horse with his tail where his head should be is exactly that, a horse backed into a standing stall so that his tail is hanging into his feed bucket. Oh, for crying out loud, says one woman. Well, I never, says another, but mostly there is relieved laughter, because this is the horse with his tail where his head should be. Then how bad can the men show be? There's a scuffing outside the tent. You goddamn sons of bitches. You're damn right I want my money back. You think I'm gonna pay a quarter to see a goddamn pair of suspenders? You talk about red-blooded Americans. Well, this is one red-blooded all right. I want my goddamn money back. This quote connected with Huckleberry Finn because the circus scammed the customers just like how the king and the duke scammed the town by saying they were going to put on a good show and then ended up putting on a horrible show. This, in both cases, upset the audience. So I've noticed that they talk about alcohol in most passages. Yes, you're right. Alcohol is a common motif in this book, as shown in this passage. How is it that everyone on this train has so much alcohol? We always head to Canada at the beginning of the season, she says, taking her seat again. Their laws are much more civilized. Cheers, she says, holding out her glass. I touch mine to hers and take a sip. It's a cold, clean lager. Magnificent. Don't the border guards check? We put the booze in with the camel, she says. I'm sorry, I don't understand. I say, camels spit. This quote talks about how the circus goes to Canada before the beginning of their season in order to get alcohol because Canada was much more civil about their laws against alcohol. Because during the time of the book, prohibition was big in the United States.
Oh, I know what that is. Isn't that when they banned alcohol in the 1920s and 1930s?
Yes, alcohol was illegal at the time.
Yeah, they mentioned prohibition a couple times in this book, just like right here. Damn prohibition, Camel finally says. This stuff used to taste just fine till the government decided it shouldn't.
I'm glad you noticed the historical background in the story. So do you think you're familiar with the role of Marlena and the role of others now?
Yeah, I think I have a pretty good grasp on the script, and I'm ready to take on the challenge.
Thank you for auditioning. Let me walk you out.
Okay.
Congratulations, Susie Cooper. You got the role.
I did? Thank you, I'm so honored. I'm going to recommend this book to others I know.
We'll contact you with further information.
Thank you for this opportunity.